Wilson Morales from Black Friend TV talking to Anthony Anderson, who's got a slew of projects like a Jamaican, but but he's out here doing a number of projects. What makes you say yes to the projects you take?
We can speak about this Charmin partnership that I have right now. It's not the first time, and they're authentic to who they are, their brand, and to their customers. Charmin has always been about making your bathroom experience better. They listened to their consumers when the consumers complained that they didn't like the square toilet paper because it didn't tear properly. There were edges left. It was separated into two-ply and whatnot. So Charmin listened, and they came up with something new. They reinvented the square for a smoother tear. You see how simple that is? Look at this, man. And it's no longer a square, Wilson. It's square-ish with scalloped edges. You see these little wavy waves on the side here. And it's been 100 years since Charmin has done anything with their toilet paper, and this is something at the consumer's request that they did. So that is what attracted me to them, because of their authenticity and their honesty and their willingness to listen to their consumer and address the issues that they may have.
Now, growing up, did you ever pay attention to the brand of toilet paper you had? Obviously, we all had to do so during the pandemic. When you go to the Costco's or anything else, and you see the one brand and everything is gone, and you'll see another brand where they've got a lot left. It goes, that's something wrong with that one.
Yeah. Well, growing up in Compton, we had one ply, which wasn't enough. And sometimes you had to double fold that one ply, sometimes triple and quadruple fold.
But before you get there, do people understand what one ply to four ply means?
I don't know. I guess we can educate them. One ply just means one sheet of paper. And it loses, or it can be a little bit more harsh than two ply and softening the paper itself. But that's why I like Charmin, man. Charmin has this ultra soft, smoother tear. Their blue package. That's what this new tear comes in. But growing up, we had Charmin in our house. So that's why, you asked me, why do I pick the brands or my partnerships? Authenticity again, and then the use that I've had for them. I grew up with Charmin product in my home. I have Charmin product in my home now. So our first partnership was like, no, I'm with it. I'm not doing this for a check. I'm doing this because I actually use your product and I'm happy with it. So I'm excited that you even came to me not knowing that I was a consumer of yours.
Mm-hmm. And that was good. So when you but there you also, but at the same time, because you're a busy man, even though they want to come to you and you've used it, and, there's a personal stake to you, there's still the time to promote it. You just can't be everywhere, promoting whatever, so was the timing right for you to promote it?
The timing was right for me to promote it. Unfortunately, we're going through this actor strike right now. So the timing is right for anybody to promote something, because we're all sitting idle right now. So this came at a wonderful time where, I had the time to devote to it and to spread the word about, what Charmin is doing with their new smooth tear, ultra soft toilet paper with these beautiful scalloped wavy edges. Mm-hmm.
So have you gone to like any stores and showed up and watch people go, that's a good one, and they look at you and go, really, is that Anthony Anderson selling me that? Have you taken it to that level? Like,
no, I haven't taken it to that level yet. But that is this kind of stuff that I do. Now that this campaign, once this activation happens, I will be doing that. So you may find me in a Walmart, in a CVS, in a Walgreens, someplace. I think you should use this toilet
on a
paper
good rainy day. You know how LA folks, when it's raining in LA, people shop for everything.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be in Target. I'll be up there with everybody, probably with a sign of these bears and Charmin talking about, this is the one that you should get, and this is why.
Have you gotten your whole family? It's like a salesman, you know, you got to get your whole family involved.
Oh,
You got to
yeah.
sell them the
Well,
stock.
they're involved already. Like I tell you, we grew up with this product, so you know that they're involved already, whether they know it or not.
you know. And then, like I said, you've been working, on other projects, and I guess the last 2 years, when you think about the strike and you think of the pandemic, has told everybody you have to do different things. You can't
Hmm.
rely on one skill set, because you never know. And obviously, during the pandemic, people had to find how to do something else. During the strike, they had to learn how to do something else, whether it's paint, walking dogs, whatever, voice, voiceovers, you know, wherever you can find work. At the end of the day, not working is not a good thing. So
Hmm.
like, and you're fortunate enough that you've been around that they came to you, you know, to promote this. Sometimes it wasn't like you set out for it. Or am I correct? Did they come to you,
Yeah, it was like I
Charmin?
say, this is this we've had a partnership in the past, so it was like our last activation with Anthony went really well. Let's go back to him with this new brand that we're having, or this new this new take on our brand right now. And so yeah, it was an incoming call. I took it, and based on our past history, I was excited that they came back to me, and I'm excited to be here talking about it now.
Mhm. Now you got other projects. Can you talk about the Peacock series, or is that off the table?
Which series? Which series? Trippin', the series with me and my
Like,
mother.
no, no, let's start. You were just on the Mass Singer. Can you bring that up or not?
Oh, we can talk about the Mass Singer. Yeah, that was
Uh,
something that I was allowed to do. That was fun. Something that I had always wanted to do, just because I think I can hold a note. I don't profess to be Luther, nobody like that, but I can hold the note. Sometimes I deviate from that note, but I come back to it. I don't hold it forever. I leave and try to find something else that I shouldn't be looking for, but I come back to it eventually. But years ago, they had asked me to come on, and we couldn't make it work with the schedule.
mhm.
And fortunately, this time around, I had time on my hands, and so we made it happen.
And was it a lot of fun? Obviously, it's a lot of work. Was it when you're going in there, and obviously when you have a day job, you know what you're doing. It's a procedural. It's
Yeah.
protocol. It's like you know what you're doing. But when you're walking in for one appearance, there's a lot more to do, and you get a little bit nervous because it's like you've not done this before, and you want to
Well,
do it right.
Wilson, I was there hoping that it was going to be longer than one appearance. It wasn't just like, let's bring him here for one episode. I was in there trying to make it to the second episode. I was hoping they kick somebody else off. But it is a lot of work, man. The songs are picked for you, or they give you a list of songs that you can choose from. Um,
Mhm,
you know, Unfortunately for me, I happened to be on the other side of the world when it happened. I was in South Africa working, and the call came, "Are you available this date?" And I just happened to be available that date, so I flew all the way home. Um, on the flight home, they told me right before I boarded my plane, they were like, these are the lists of songs that you will be singing, and we think you should sing this one. So they gave me the song. I listened to it on the plane ride home, 22 hours. And as soon as I landed in Los Angeles, I had to go directly to the studio. So I landed, went home, dropped my bags off, got in the car, and came directly to the studio. Became Rubber Ducky, recorded the song, worked with the vocal coach, and then went out there and performed it for an audience, hoping that it was more than just a one-off.
mhm.
Unfortunately, they voted me off. I wasn't that good, but I wasn't that bad either.
So while you're on a plane, you got to mentally practice. You obviously you can't sing on a plane, and then when you're in a car, you got to be like me type.
Yeah, yeah. You try to figure it out. They gave me enough rehearsal time throughout the day. I got there that morning, and we just rehearsed and ran the song and rehearsed and ran the song and ran the song and rehearsed. So they gave me an opportunity to warm up and do all that. So it was more than enough time to
Mhm.
learn the lyrics and to learn the song. But yeah, it like I said, man, it was fun. You have no idea who is there with you because you guys don't move at the same time, and when you do move, you're literally in cloak and dagger. You like nobody. their gloves, their boots, their overcoats, their hoodies, their shades, their hats that come down and cover your entire face. So nobody knows who you are except for your handler. I
Mhm.
had no idea who the other singers were on the show that night. Yeah, the only way that I knew there were other singers is because they were in the same thing that I was wearing. I was like, yo, I wonder who the hell that is. Still don't know to this day.
Really?
Yeah.
But sometimes I think about when you're on their appearance and it's like you got one job. Don't mess up. You can't be like
Right.
Stephen A. Smith and muff up the first pitch of Yankee Stadium. You would say you got one job. Otherwise you're like, nah, keep your day job. You're good as an actor. You're good as a host. Don't try to be.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be Jamie.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Not
Exactly.
everybody can be Jamie. But
But it
but
was
everything
it was
else
a
is
fun experience.
but just obviously this time period is like I said, you have to find other ways of entertaining, not for yourself but for others, so that people can see you. You've worked a long period of time, and what has kept you staying in this business, doing different things, whether you're on a screen, producing a project, hosting a project, doing Charmin, like what has kept you active, as opposed to like,
Uh,
what, I'm just gonna chill and just be with my family and whatever.
my passion for what I do. This is all I ever wanted to do since I was 9 years old.
Mhm,
I'm literally living my dream. Most people punch a clock every day to get to work, and it's not what they want to do, but it's what they have to do in order to pay that mortgage, in order to take care of that family, their families. Um, but I get to live my dream every day, and it's a beautiful thing. So that's what keeps me going. The passion that I have to do what I do.
mhm. And then when you're not on screen, or promoting, what keeps you humble? Are you out playing ball, playing pool? Like we got.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think with actors, the minute you step out their house, there's that little bit of a fear that you have to be on. Because everybody's got a camera nowadays, and if you're
Mhm.
not the person that they think you are, who knows how that may be. When can you find time to be yourself without having to worry about anything?
You know what, man? My circle that I keep around me. First and foremost, my family. They're gonna keep me grounded. I'm surrounded by real, solid individuals who are in this industry and who aren't, but they're solid individuals, and we keep each other grounded. Some with huge names, and some who aren't as huge.
Mhm,
But that's our balance. And I garden. But people find that as a surprise when I tell them that. But I have 1,000 square foot gardening space in this community garden, and that's my place of zen, where I go to decompress and talk to my flowers, talk to my vegetables and my fruits that I'm growing in there, and I just become one with nature, just me and the dirt in my hands, and that's where I find my sense of grounding, literally working in the ground.
mhm. Well, hopefully, we'll talk down the road. It's kind of funny when we talk to actors. It's like, especially when I'm talking to you, and I'm gonna wrap this up. It's like playing password plus. Don't use that word. Don't use this word. You know. And but hey, you're continuing to work. Keep it going. I'm sure we'll talk down the road, and I'll see you when I see you. Maybe at Roscoe's.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Wilson. Always great seeing you, brother.
Take care.